This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel Strat-O-Matic Baseball EXCEL Game of the Week.
Welcome back, baseball fans, to the 1978-81 Carryover League Playoffs National League Division Series, the fourth and final one. We got an expansion team participating. It's Portland against the Dodgers. We'll just go and tell you what's been going on here, folks. The series opens up in Portland, who were an unlikely division winner and also got a bye. So Portland is completely sold out, standing room only. Kurt Russell and the Portland Mavericks pregame, throw out the first pitch, honorary members. Place is going absolutely nuts. It's like the Rose Festival times 10 as the Portland gets a home divisional series and is the highest remaining seed in the National League, which technically, if they can hold home field in Portland, they're going to the World Series, folks. Let me say that again. Portland, if they can hold home field, they can go all the way to the World Series. Let's see what happens. Game one in Portland. Bert Hooton for the Dodgers. Jerry Royce, former Dodger, for Portland. Top of the second inning, Ron Say crushes lefties, crushes that home run. Bottom of the second. Also, Chet Lemon got injured in the first inning running on a ground ball. He had to leave. Good defensive center fielder and hitter. That would be important. Bottom of the second inning, John Milner evens the game with a solo home run. It's 1-1. We go to the fourth. Garvey singles. Then with two outs, it's Kirk Gibson with an RBI double. 2-1 Dodgers. It would stay that way late in this one, folks. Jerry Royce and Hooton in a pitcher's duel. But in the eighth inning, Garvey singles, Say singles. They go to the bullpen with Jerry Royce broken. Jerry Royce breaks by giving up 4 hits in the 6 batters in the 7th and 8th inning. So they bring in Charlie Huff, another former Dodger, to come in for former Dodger Jerry Royce. He faces future Dodger, you could say, Kirk Gibson. 3-run homer. It's 5-1. They add a Willie Horton homer in the 9th inning, and the Dodgers win this one 6-1. Bert Hooton complete game, 4 hits, that 1 solo homer for John Milner. In game 1, the Dodgers are too much like the Dodgers. Big home runs, great pitching, solid defense. Not the same to be said for Portland. So Portland loses home field, but they still got a game in Portland in game 2. Let's see what happens. Game 2 in Portland. We have Rick Sutcliffe for the Dodgers, and we have Eric Rasmussen, his best year as a Padres starter. Gets the start for Portland. They got to win this game. Bottom of the first inning, you have Sutcliffe, not known for control, walks a batter, walks a batter, walks a batter. The guy gets thrown out stealing in here, and the inning's over. Nobody scores. Bottom of the third, though, Portland gets a lead. Tom Verizon, solo homer, his 1 homer in 421 at-bats. Then they get a single, a double by Lemon, and a sac fly by Bob Horner, and it's 3-0 Portland. You're thinking they're going to even this thing up. Eric Rasmussen looks excellent after 3 hitless innings. But the Dodgers start teeing off in the 4th. You've got Garvey, Smith, and Say doubles. It's 3-2. Then in the 5th, unlikely doubles by Jim Norris and Mike Scioscia. That's 5 doubles within 7 batters. And then the game's tied. With 2 outs, Steve Garvey, 2-run homer, and the Dodgers have a 5-3 lead. In the 8th inning, loading the bases with 2 outs, Davey Lopes with a 2-out single. It's not pretty, folks. Not to mention that in this game, Clint Hurdle had a homer chance on his card, flew out. Terry Poole had a homer chance on his card, flew out. Also, there's a weird string of fly ball left X's hit to Dusty Baker, who's outstanding defensively. He's a 2, -1 Army, 3 in left field. Pullitz, a fly ball left X that's caught. Milner, fly ball left X that's caught. Art Howe, fly ball left X that's caught. Barry Foote, fly ball left X, that's a double. And then Johnny Oates, fly ball left X that's caught. So that happened 5 out of 8 batters. A fly ball left X. Very rare for that to happen. It doesn't matter. It's just too much Dodgers. Too much tradition. Dodgers have good defense. Great starting pitching. Capable bullpen. They get on base with walks. They have a little bit of speed mixed in. And they have Kirk Gibson when they shouldn't have Kirk Gibson, but they have him anyway. Adding to what would be a potent Dodger team that wins the 81 World Series and also participates in 77 and 78. Too much Dodgers, 8-4, and Portland. It's raining in Portland. They're expecting showers, some snow flurries. Not looking good. They cannot get a home win. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you've been following these series, if you are a number 1 or number 2 seed and you get a day off and the series opens in your ballpark, you go 0 for 8. That's right, 0 for 8. Here's your overall standings. Don't matter too much. So we opened up in Pittsburgh. They lost the first 2 at home. Then they could only get a split, so they lost 3-1, finished with 20 wins. Then over here, Cleveland got wiped out 3 straight by California. And then Kansas City got wiped out 3 straight by Baltimore. And back over here, Portland, they've lost the first 2 to the Dodgers, who's down here. 0 and 8. As a matter of fact, the top seeded teams overall are 1 and 3, 1 and 6, 1 and 9, 1 and 11. 1 win, 11 losses. Number 1 Pirates, number 2 Portland, number 2 Cleveland, number 1 Kansas City. 1 win. What did I just say? 11 losses, right. I thought I said 12. 1 and 11. And the teams that are doing it, of course, Baltimore now has 21 wins, succeeding them. California's got all the way up to 19 wins. The Dodgers got all the way up to 19 wins. And even Atlanta, they got up to 20 wins. So you see now the 4s and 3 seeds and another 4 seed, and even Baltimore's a 6 seed. They just surpassed the teams with the best record. So, a lot of information. As you can tell, we are back in LA with the soundtrack. It's a royal scam, of course. In Game 3, Portland will send their number 3 starter, Randy Lurch. Randy Lurch was a member of the Phillies in 78, would have played in the playoffs. 11 and 8, 396, 184 innings. And for the 4th divisional broadcast in a row that you've watched on YouTube, folks, you are seeing the same pitchers. Don Sutton for the Dodgers, a 13 and 5 with a 2.21 ERA. And when I say 4th in a row, we saw Phil Niekro twice, Nolan Ryan twice, Mike Flanagan twice, and now Don Sutton twice. Because they pitched in the wild card round, they had a day off, their team won 2 straight, and they finally pitched on 3 days rest in what amounts to an elimination game in Game 3. So, very bizarre postseason. We're going to have a wild league championship and World Series with, anyway. Let's get started from LA. Leading off for Portland, it's Terry Poole. 65 flies left. Art Howe, 1-3 flies to right. And with 2 outs, it's Bob Horner. 56 is a strikeout. Bottom of the 1st, it's Davey Lopes. 58 off Lurch, pops to 2nd. Reggie Smith, 6'10", 3rd X. This is Bob Horner, who is a 4E31. Not known for his glove. That's a 2-base hit. Down the line. Can't get a stab on it. Runner in scoring position for Steve Garvey. 6'10", third X again. Bob Horner testing him again for E31. And that'll be a single this time. And that'll be a run. So a run off of Bob Horner. 2 balls down the line to him. Garvey's at first with 1 out for Ron Say. 5-10 off Lurch, his catcher's card. Barry Foote. So 2E6. Pass ball. You got a runner at second with 2 outs. And it's Kirk Gibson. 35. Let's take a look at this Kirk Gibson card, folks. He was a 1981 Tiger at 328. His best year in Detroit. Would, of course, get a couple rings in this decade. In 84 with the Tigers and in 88 with the Dodgers. But Dodgers gave up a king's ransom to get Gibson now. Since I don't play the Strat-O-Matic cards in the late 80s when Kirk Gibson was limping around the bases off of Dennis Eckersley, as we all recall. So he's here now. 3-5 is single dot. So with a runner at second, the runner has to hold at third. Runners on the corners, 2 outs, and it's Dusty Baker. 33, lines are short. Lurch gets out of the mess. Top of 2. Chet Lemon. 67 is a K. Clint Hurdle, 6'11", left X. This is Dusty Baker, 2E3. I told you about all those X's they rolled in game. They're continuing to roll left X just out of fluke chance there. And Barry Foote, 66, pops a second. Bottom of 2, Bill Russell. 2-9, pops the second. Willie Horton, nice little pickup from the Seattle Mariners as a DH. 1-7 is a strikeout because every team has a DH in the National League, of course. With 2 outs, it's Alex Trevino. 1-5 is a walk. And back up top to Davey Lopes. 6-11 off Lurch, first X. This is Milner, a 3E17 first baseman, and he makes the play. Not bad for Portland, they're hanging in there. Top of the third, here is John Milner. 67 is a K. Gary Ward getting the start at DH today as he has power, and Sutton is known to give up the long ball when he's not giving up hits or walks otherwise. That's the one kryptonite. You got to hit it out of the park. Got a better chance of hitting it out of the park than into the outfield. Gary Ward, 3-6. Homer 1, fly ball the rest, and it's the rest. False optimism there. And it's Tom Bereiser. 1-6, and there's a base hit. There goes your no-no. Terry Poole. 2-7 is a liner to short. Bottom of the third, it's Reggie Smith. 3-10 is a fly to left. Steve Garvey, 6-11, first X. This is Milner, 3-17 at first, but that's a base hit. Ron Say is your batter. 45, second C. Runner goes to second with 2 outs, and it's Kirk Gibson. 45 against a lefty is a walk. You've got first and second with 2 outs, and it's Dusty Baker. 6-10, third X. Not a good day to beat Bob Horner with a glove. So that's a single dot, and it won't hurt that much. It only loads the bases. Nobody scores. And now it's Bill Russell. 1-6, let's take a look at the Bill Russell card from 1978. Probably his best average with the Dodgers, a 286 performance and 650 plate appearances. Does more of his damage against lefties and righties, and actually he platoons with Rafael Landeskog. But here, his biggest hit of the year. A bases loaded, 2 out, double on a 14, gets the 2-base hit. I was right about to give a compliment to Randy Lurch, and now I got to take it away. So he's given up now 3 runs in 3 innings. Second and third, 2 outs, and it's Willie Horton. 3-6 is a K. We go to the fourth. Art Howe. 1-6 is a double to center field. Now it'll be Bob Horner. Let's take a look at Bob. His name's come up, unfortunately, for the wrong reasons, for when he's in the field. That's not fair. How about when he's at bat? And this is what he looks like, folks. 1979, a hot Atlanta Brave. Probably his best year. 314 batting average. 33 home runs in 500 plate appearances. Just didn't have a glove yet. And Atlanta didn't care, as you can imagine. They just want to bash home runs in that little park, and we'll worry about pitching and defense later. So the runner at second, here's the pitch to Bob Horner. 49 off of Sutton is a walk, and Portland's got something going on in the fourth. Here's Chet Lemon. 1-9, they did have something going, not so much anymore. 1-9 is a 6-4-3 double play. Runner goes to third, 2 outs, and it's Clint Hurdle. Let's take a look at Hurdle's card before he swings. 1981 Kansas City Royal hit .329. He's like half of a Kirk Gibson against righties only, minus the glove and the speed. But boy, he can really wallop those righties, folks. His best year easily. So runner at third, 2 outs, pitch to Clint Hurdle. 1-3, misses the column, rolls to the mound. Bottom of the fourth, Randy Lurch. Pitch to Alex Trevino, 2-7 Ks. Davey Lopes. 1-8 is a single for the Double-A Steeler. He's going to attempt to steal off the -1 arm of Barry Foote, and he rolls an 8 to safe. Runner at second for Reggie Smith. 1-6 is a strikeout, and with 2 outs, it's Steve Garvey. 57 is a strikeout. Randy Lurch. Kind of an up and down performance there. Had some moments, got out of the first, didn't get out of the third, gets out of the fourth. Top of the fifth for Don Sutton, throwing a shutout. It's going to be Barry Foote leading off. 69 lines the first. John Milner, 1-4. Let's take a look at the John Milner card. Was a Pirate in 79 with this card. 16 homers and a .276 batting average for a Pirate team that won the World Series in 79. If you recall, Willie Stargell, by this point of Stargell's career, he was exclusively a first baseman. So what that really means is, for 383 at-bats in the National League, John Milner had to play left field because he didn't have a DH, where he's a 4 + 4, he's 16. Yet somehow, Pirates won enough games with that. I think he platooned with Bill Robinson in left field, because I'm pretty sure Willie Stargell didn't play outfield. Of course, Willie Stargell may have gotten injured as well. Anyway, 1-4 is a home run. We got a 3-1 game. Gary Ward. Remember I said Sutton has a better chance of, can't keep the ball in the park. Gary Ward, 1-8, grounded to third. And Tom Bereiser, 45, homer 1, fly ball off Sutton is a fly ball off Sutton. Bottom of the fifth. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Bottom of the fifth. It'll be Ron Say leading off in a 3-1 game. 3:10 plies to left. Kirk Gibson, 38 is a K. And with 2 outs. Dusty Baker, 48 is double 1 a 7 base hit. And here's Bill Russell with a big 2-run double earlier. For 4, center X. But this is Chet Lemon, very good center fielder. A 1E9 in center. And he, 1E9 makes the catch. We go to the 6th, a 3-1 game. Sutton's a starter 7. He's going to at least 7 of 8 innings. And they don't have much defense to bring in to help, so here we go into the 6th with Terry Poole. 33 pops to first. Art Howell, 65, rolls to second. Bob Horner, 57 is a strikeout. 3-1 game. This is the best pitched game thus far for a Portland starter by Lurch, who's hung in there after looking sketchy early. He's not had a 3 up and 3 down inning yet, but he's been putting guys on with singles and stranding them. He'll pitch to the bottom of the lineup, and then we'll see where we're at. So here's Willie Horton. 1-4, fly ball to center field. Alex Trevino. 45, rolls a second, so he'll pitch to Lopes then, with 2 outs. Davey Lopes, 44, center X, and it's Chet Lemon, 29, makes the grab. Not bad. Lurch gets through 6. Both bullpens are capable. Dodgers have Hal to close, Castillo to set up. They got the lefty Forster, and Tom Bruno is the long man. Portland's got a pretty good everything. If you've noticed this mix of players stolen away from other organizations, I mean, all these guys would be desired. Terry Poole taken away from Houston, Bob Horner taken away from Atlanta, Chet Lemon taken away from the White Sox, Milner taken away from Pittsburgh, Jerry Royce away from the Dodgers, and then, yeah, some other guys are okay. They got Skip Lockwood as their closer, Willie Hernandez, Charlie Huff, and Bill Caldwell in the bullpen there. So, let's go to the top of the 7th of a 3-1 game. It is Chet Lemon leading off. 4-10 off Sutton is center X. Now, Gibson, he's good. He's not great. He's a 3 E10 in center field. A 3 E10. And it's a double. Kirk Gibson cannot get a good jump on that ball, and Lemon is at second base. And just like that, we have Clint Hurdle, saw the card earlier. He's your tie run, folks. Best chance they have right here. And Sutton's going to battle him. Clint Hurdle versus Don Sutton. Here's the pitch. 39 is single on a 1. Line out the rest. I tell you, Portland has found the 1-2, 1-3, 1-4 chances in this series, and with too much frequency. So the runner holds at second, and it's Barry Foote. 64 off Sutton is a grounder to short. Now Bill Russell, a 3E33, also very mediocre, but he makes the play. And with 2 outs, here's your boy, John Milner. Had a solo homer in game 1, and a solo homer in the 5th inning here, and his 3rd homer could tie the series. Right here, right now. The pitch to John Milner. 1-6, gets the walk in the column. 2 on, 2 outs. Now, if you can just get a hit or a walk, you can break Sutton and get him out of there. Not to mention that if Ward scores in this inning, Sutton would be the losing pitcher. So Sutton will pitch to Ward with a tying runs aboard. Pitch to Gary Ward. 1-4. Let's take a look at the Gary Ward card. Should have looked at it before I rolled, but unfortunately 1-4 for Gary Ward, who had 264 and 295 at-bats for the Twins in 1981. 1-4 is a ground ball to shortstop, and the inning is over. Stretch time in LA. Green earrings. I remember we are enjoying the 1976 Steely Dan classic Royal Scam with all the great ones. Is there gas in the car? Is there gas in the car? Test tubes and the scale. Get it out of here. All that fun stuff. From Walter Becker and Donald Fagen and company. And Larry Carlton on lead guitar. Okay, bottom of the 7th inning. 3-1 Dodgers. They could use some insurance. How far do you go with Randy Lurch? Let me take a peek. Lurch is on borrowed time. He's a starter 7. And when we're looking at the Dodgers lefties versus righties, Say and Gibson are better against lefties. Smith, Garvey, and Baker are better against righties. So I think we won't let him pitch to Ron Say. We'll give him a chance against Smith and Garvey. Here we go. Reggie Smith. 49 off Lurch, flying to left. Steve Garvey. 2-8 is a ground ball to short. And you know what? We're going to hook him. We're going to be a little bit bold here. This guy is pitching rather well recently, but they're not going to take a chance with 2 outs. They don't want Ron Say, we'll look at his card in a moment, to face a lefty. So they'll go to Dodger Charlie Huff. Take a look at Charlie Huff first. Huff with the Dodgers in 78 was 5-5 with a 3.29 ERA in 93 innings. He comes on in the 7th with 2 outs and nobody on base to face Ron Say. Now let's take a look at Ron Say and you'll see why we didn't want Randy Lurch to face him. Ron Say, his 79 card, 28 home runs and a 281 batting average, also 86 walks, plus a 211 at third base, one of his most magnificent years. And he hits a ton more homers against lefties, as you can see. So that's why we pulled Lurch. We want to keep it a 2-run game here, if we can. So So here is the pitch to Ron Say. 66 off of Huff is a fly ball to left field. Portland playing commendably here. It's a 3-1 game, 6 outs to get. Sutton's in a precarious position here where 2 runners break him, but it's hard to pull Don Sutton when he's facing Tom Verizor, I would say. So defensively, like the only guy who can really steal a base is Terry Poole for Portland. I'm not really concerned about that, so I think we'll just leave Trevino alone. Russell, oh, we'll bring in Jim. That's what we'll do. We'll take out... Reggie Smith is an E16 right fielder. No more. We'll bring in Jim Norris, defensive replacement for Reggie, who's an E5 right fielder, and that'll be the only defensive improvement. Do the Dodgers get a sweep? They are 6 outs away from doing so. It'll be Tom Verizor on the Portland bench. You've got Dave Chalk, a right-handed third baseman with not much power. Mickey Stanley, can't hit righties at all. Johnny Oates, a nice left-handed bat, but Sutton's good against lefties. So Verizor still has a homer in this series, and he's still a decent hitter, so he will bat. Tom Verizor, here's the pitch. 2-8, Tom Verizor's on again, folks. Double 1-2. Base hit for Verizor, and that'll bring the tie run up. Terry Poole, who has power. You want to turn him around? I don't think so. I think the Dodgers are going to run with Sutton because another batter, puts one more batter on, he's coming out anyway. Broken. So he will pitch to Terry Poole with the infield back. Pitch to Terry Poole. 2-6 is a grounder, fielder's choice. Ground ball to first B. Now you've got speed on, and Art Howe is the batter, has power against righties. I don't think a hit and run is in order here, or a stolen base attempt. And Art Howe, let's take a look at Art Howe, folks. This is not your garden variety Art Howe. This dude hits 293. And what a fine, versatile player he was for the Astros. Really did well, all over the infield. Hit 280 or 290 most times. Has power both ways, as you can see. He's their second baseman. He will hit away with Poole at first. Here's the pitch. 68 off of Sutton is a fly ball to right. And with 2 outs, here is Bob Horner. More homers against lefties and righties, as you would figure. So Sutton will battle him. And you know that Horner is going to get his rips in. The pitch to Bob Horner. 1-8 hits the column, misses the homer. It's double 1-8, single dot dot. That's a single dot dot for Bob Horner. You got runners in the corners, 2 outs. And they're going to pull Sutton after 7 2/3. Don't want him to lose after pitching as well as he did today by leaving him in there too long. They have 4 outs to get with a 2-run lead. They have an outstanding bullpen of Terry Forster, Bobby Castillo, and Steve Howe. Chet Lemon is the batter. He's actually better against righties than lefties. Plus, you've got Hurdle on deck. You could go Steve Howe or Forster in this situation. I think they're going to go Howe. Steve Howe is going to come in out of the Dodger bullpen here. He is 7-9 with a 2.65 ERA in 1980 in 85 innings. Steve Howe comes into the game in the 8th to face Chet Lemon, and then Clint Hurdle will be announced, probably for a pinch hitter, if the inning continues. Playing back, Horner at first. No speed to pinch run for him on the bench either. So here is the pitch to Chet Lemon. 1-9, and you saw the Lemon card. Or did you? Let me show you here. Chet Lemon's card, 1-9, is a ground ball to short. Forgot to do that ahead of time. Anyway, he hit 300 in 1978 for the White Sox. Fantastic defensive center fielder. But 1-9 is a ground ball too short. Once again, Portland blows the opportunity. I think the Portland team, yeah, they've been on base more than 1, 2, 3. No, actually, yeah, the Dodgers are 3 batters ahead in this game. 2 runs and 3 batters ahead are the Dodgers. 3-1. They leave 2 guys on base. Bottom of the 8th inning. Huff. Oh, let's see. Do we want him to continue? let's do it this way. We'll take out Huff. We'll go Willie Hernandez to start the inning to face the lefty Gibson, and Dusty Baker is not very good against lefties. And then we'll turn it over to Caudill or Lockwood after that. So here comes Willie Hernandez in the 8th inning. Willie was a Cub, was 1-9 with a 4.42 ERA, but his card play is much better than that. Eventually, of course, you know, Willie will do wonderful stuff for the Detroit Tigers in 1984. So Willie Hernandez against Kirk Gibson in the bottom of the 8th. Pitch to Kirk. 57 is a K. Dusty Baker. 2-4. Let's take a look at the Baker card so you can see he is worse against lefties, but we rolled a 2-4. Homer 1-17, and he rolls a 2 and it's gone. Dusty Baker, 294 hitter with 29 homers in 1980. Not much you could do there. You had a slightly better chance, of course, of giving up a double against the lefties. It just didn't work out, and it's 4-1. Well, that'll be it for Willie Hernandez, and let's go to Skip Lockwood in the 8th. It's not looking good for Portland. In the 8th, again, they might be a paper tiger anyway. They won a division where they didn't play outside of their division. So this is the first traditional Major League Baseball team they faced. And oh boy, they're learning their lesson here. Lockwood in the 8th will face Bill Russell. 67 is a K, and with 2 outs, it's Willie Horton. 1-5 is a walk. And with 2 outs, it's Alex Trevino. Actually, it'll be Mike Scioscia batting for Alex Trevino, since there's no lefties left in the bullpen. Mike Scioscia, pitch to Mike. 2-7 for Scioscia is a single to left field. So they have 2 on with 2 outs. You've got to get Lopes out. Lockwood's excellent against righties, and here's your season right here. You've got to get Lopes out. 2 on, 2 outs in a 4-1 game. The pitch to Davey Lopes. 6-10, Lockwood. Oh boy. I wince in pain. It's a ground ball to Bob Horner for the 4th or 3rd time. I don't know. 40-31 at third base. Trying to get a glove on it. No, it's going to be a double. Got to have defense in Strat-O-Matic, folks. Memo. Got to have some kind of defense, or you're just going to short circuit in the playoffs. That's an RBI double. It is 5-1 with 2nd and 3rd and 2 outs. And it's Jim Norris. 54 flies to right field. Well, Dodgers got too many breaks for a team that should have been favored to win anyway. And Portland needed to pull a miracle, and it ain't happening, it looks like. 5-1 Dodgers, getting 2 insurance runs off some bad relief pitching and bad defense, and you're seeing the limitations of these expansion teams. I mean, this is really the high mark of the history of Portland, who I like to call Team 31 or Team 32. So the mere fact that they're in a divisional series is amazing. But yeah, they are over their heads here. We go to the 9th. It's Steve Howe. They have Clint Hurdle to be announced, and they'll bring in a pinch hitter for him. It's either Dave Chalk or Mickey Stanley. They'll go Mickey Stanley because Steve Howe's not going anywhere. Mickey Stanley will bat for Hurdle. He's a right-handed hitter. Pitch to Mickey Stanley. 39 is a walk. Hal makes a mistake, letting the leadoff man reach. Now you have Barry Foote. Pitch to Barry Foote. 4-10 off of Hal, lines the second base. Milner, very good against lefties, so he, the only run of the game, will bat. 57 is a pop to third, and with 2 outs, it's Gary Ward. You saw his card earlier. He's actually very good against lefties as well. The pitch to Gary Ward. 1-4 is a fly ball to center field, and another rather dull divisional series is over, as one of the worst divisional rounds in my Strat-O-Matic history has just concluded with a complete and utter destruction of the teams with byes. This has never happened before. They finish 1-12. Unbelievable. I'll go a little further into the stats at the end of this video. But a 3-game sweep for the Dodgers, winning game 3 at home behind Sutton by a score of 5-1. Let's get into the box. My goodness, folks. Steve Howe does get the save. Inning and a third. Came in to face Chet Lemon, got him out, walked a guy in the 9th. Sutton did everything else, got the win. 6 hits, solo homer to John Milner, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Skip Lockwood came in and faced Bill Russell. Gave up 2 hits, a walk and a K. 2 hits, a run, a walk and a K. Willie Hernandez got a strikeout, then he gave up the homer to Dusty Baker. Oh boy. Charlie Huff got the final out in the 7th. Randy Lurch's final line, it actually wasn't too bad. 9 hits, just those 3 runs early, but it really was a safety call here to get him out. Really was the best performance of any of the Portland starting pitchers in this series. By the way, their number 4 starter is Dave Frost, who was a very good California Angel pitcher. So had they were able to continue this series, they would have had Dave Frost, and the Dodgers would have had Jim Umbarger, which would have been an advantage for Portland. Unfortunately for Portland, it never got that far. 3 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 1019, 0108, 511, 16. 3438. Unbelievable sweep. 3rd consecutive sweep. Almost the minimal amount of games I could possibly play in a divisional round. The Pirates won the 1 game and it was on the road. Wow. Pretty remarkable. It's about getting hot at the right time at the end of the season. Finding the right lineup, right substitution patterns, things like that. Getting the breaks. Dodgers have got their 20th win now. They're 20-14. Hitting .266. That average has been creeping up all year. 3.82 ERA. Sutton's got 7 wins. Hooten's got 3. Rick Sutcliffe's 5-2. Steve Howe has 6 saves. Bobby Castillo has a couple. Home runs, they're all over the place. 7 is the magic number. So you've got Baker, Say, Garvey, Lopes, and Reggie Smith. Notice I didn't say Gibson. Gibson has 4. But those other guys all have 7 home runs in 34 games. So do the math, and that's sort of what the Dodgers did. They had a bunch of guys with 28, 29 home runs in that era. Those guys I just mentioned. They're all delivering. It's a collective effort. There's no particular individual doing better than the others. The RBI totals, 23, 23, 26, 19, and 21. That's how you win this game. That's how Strat-O-Matic is won. Everybody contributing. Don't rely on one guy. We saw Kansas City Royals rely on George Brett. He did remarkable work. He's out. We saw Willie Stargell do MVP remarkable work in Pittsburgh. He's out. We see a collective calls by the Dodgers. They advance. 20-14. Portland. Losers of 3 straight, but what a year. 19-13. This Portland team finishes after that game you saw in the series I described. They finished the year hitting .301 with a 3.92 ERA. Lurch got a loss. He's 2-3. Rasmussen 5-2. Skip Lockwood had 5 saves. Home runs, you know, John Milner, he really delivered. 9 homer and 25 RBI. Bob Horner had 6 and 22. Your top hitter on the Portland team, which had a bunch of 300 hitters, my goodness, Art Howe was 43 for 129. Tom Verizor was 41 for 120. So you had some rather anonymous players really do some nice stuff for this team. And it just didn't work out at the end. It's just a tough break. Not much more you can say there. Just a tough break. Let's look at the overall standings now after a 3-game sweep. And now you're seeing, look, if this was an extra week of the season, you would see that the Dodgers have 20 wins, Portland's got 19, Vegas is 18, 19, 18, 20. You'd see, and another 20. You see how those lower seeded teams rose to the challenge. And yeah, so with a 3-game sweep in the divisional round of the playoffs, it means that the Dodgers will host the League Championship Series. And they will face the Atlanta Braves. And the reason is, there's Atlanta 20-15, number 4 seed. Dodgers 20-14, number 3 seed. Braves at Dodgers, cross-country affair. And the American League, same thing. Orioles, number 6, at California, cross-country affair. The East goes to the West. The favorites, we'd have an all-California World Series, Dodgers, Angels. Or if you're an East Coast fan, Baltimore and Atlanta. Call it the Davey Johnson World Series. All right, that's it tonight, folks. Thanks for sticking around and watching another disappointing divisional round series. Congratulations to the Dodgers. We'll see y'all next time.